I have a question regarding compassion, forgiveness, and suffering. Is there a point of compassion and forgiveness for a close relative that causes you suffering no matter how many times you tried? Get along and reach out. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult when there's family involved because there's a stronger bond and there's stronger karma between the people. So usually there's a lot more thinking and a lot more feelings involved, a lot more emotions. So that's why I think it's very important to follow kind of the Buddha's basic teaching is to look into this life first. So yeah, of course we want to have compassion and forgiveness for others, but it's going to be very difficult to do if we don't even understand ourselves. It will be difficult to do if we haven't forgave ourselves and have compassion for ourselves first, right? And usually we don't because we don't understand the nature of the self. So Zen practice is very clear. We investigate this life very closely. We perceive the source of our suffering. We see the nature of the self that we created. We also have an experience of our enlightened nature, which is before self and before suffering. Only then, I think we can have compassion and forgiveness for other people. Why is that? Because when we realize the nature of the self, the experience of this enlightened nature, we see that all of us have that same characteristics. We all have enlightened nature, and we don't understand ourselves, so we suffer. So really, that's the first step. You look at the temple rules in the quantum school of Zen, and it says, first, get enlightenment, then help others. Even though I don't think there's a separation between the two, but it has the direction of what we need to do first. I talk about this in my book a little bit about when you're flying in an airplane and the flight attendants are giving you instructions before you take off. One of the instructions is put on your oxygen mask first, then help those around you. And I first heard that, I was like, no way, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it into my kids. But then I was like, whoa, I guess if I'm dead, I won't be able to do anything. So it's very similar in this regards. So I think that's really important, is focus on your practice, really dig down deep, see the source of this suffering. Then compassion and forgiveness happen automatically. It's not like a switch, which sometimes that can be. But that kind of compassion and forgiveness is just a feeling or an idea. It's not true compassion and forgiveness. So understand your true self. Then you can see that this whole world's suffering. And then you will be able to have more wisdom when you interact with relatives and people who are close to you. You can be more intuitive with them, right? Because there's no rules. We don't have like a set of instructions that we have that we can use in these kinds of situations. Sometimes it's very necessary to go in. Sometimes it's very necessary to pull back. Sometimes it's necessary to use words. Sometimes it's necessary to use actions. And sometimes it's necessary to shut up. But we don't know. So if we keep that don't know mind that's wide open and every moment, what is this? How can I help? And I really think the direction of that is really important. How can I truly help? Not my idea of helping,